Hey everybody, welcome to our Wednesday night Zoom call. I'm super excited for this one because we have a special guest with us, Sarah Foreman. She is 21 years old and a Ruby ambassador with Plexus. And a lot of you follow her on Facebook. If you don't already, I encourage you to go follow her. Her health testimony alone is so inspiring and so incredible. And if you do not have belief in these products yet, go follow this girl. She will give you all the belief that you need. She is precious to me. I've met her a couple of times at different events, and it's funny because the first time I met her from the second time she approached me, I had no idea who she was because she looked so different. So these products work, and she is living proof of that. I want to share with you guys a couple of business tips from where I'm at now, from when I started to now being a Diamond Ambassador. And then I want Sarah to share a little bit about her business journey and then, of course, her amazing health testimony. So let's begin. A lot of you have followed me for a while. Some of you just recently joined and you're just beginning, and you are probably up to here with Plexus knowledge and info, and your ambassador and your upline is tagging you on awesome posts in the team page. You're being added to different team pages. You're shown all these incredible testimonies, and you're probably thinking, oh my gosh, I am so overwhelmed. And I want you to know that feeling that you have, that overwhelming sense of, I can't do this, is normal. It is so normal. And I want you to know I've been there. And it's funny because I had no intentions of working this as a business. If you knew me at the beginning of this, and you knew Holly Torres, my upline, I literally rolled my eyes and told her, no thanks. Do not add me to team pages. Do not welcome me on anything. I'm not going to meetings. Like, that's not my thing. I've done that before with another company, and that's not what I'm doing Plexus for. I just wanted a discount. And she was like, okay. She didn't really pressure me. She did still add me to a team page just for resources and information if I had product questions. But I'm so glad she did, because somebody went silver on that team page, and everyone in that page was like, oh my gosh, congratulations, $100, blah, blah. And I was like, $100, what? Huh, what just happened? I need $100. I know 3 people. Is that all I got to do? I can do this. And that was probably like a week into my journey. And I was like, I didn't want to work this business, but I know 3 people. And it's kind of ironic how it happened. I went silver by accident. I'm one of those people that you roll your eyes at and you're like, really? You got silver in like a month? That's not fair. But that happened to me. And so from there, I really looked at the compensation plan. Holly and I joined like 2 months apart. And so she was still fairly new. And I was like, this compensation plan is really different. I didn't know a lot about them at the time, but I knew it was different because we could earn income 11 ways. And I didn't know any other company that offered that. So that's what I did. If you are a new ambassador, obviously I want you to take your products. I want you to dive all in. I want you to be consistent. I want you to drink your water. I want you to be a product of the product. That's what this whole business is about, is sharing why you love the products. But, there's always a but, I want you guys to look at the compensation plan. The first couple times you read it, it's going to be like Japanese. You're going to be like, what am I reading? I don't understand the charts, the numbers, upline, downline, PV. I don't know what any of that means. I didn't either. I'll share a funny little story. So for my ambassadors that have been with me for a while, I thought my PV was my paycheck. I thought what my PV was is the paycheck I was going to get. So in my first month of Plexus, I had about $2,200 in sales, and I'm like, cha-ching, I got a $2,000 paycheck. Like, this is awesome. And I'm messaging my husband. He's deployed, thinking I'm crazy already for doing this Plexus thing. And I'm like, babe, check out my paycheck. I sent him a screenshot of my back office. And he's like, wow, is this legal? Like, how did you do that? So I messaged, because then he made me like doubt myself. So then I messaged Holly and Yvonne, Holly's upline, and I'm like, hey, you guys, I just want to double check. PV is like my paycheck, right? And they were like, no. PV, you get a percentage of that. And so at first I was kind of bummed, right? I thought, $2,000, but I still had a really great paycheck. The $100 bonus, that one-time bonus for going silver was on there too. So I encourage you guys, figure it out. Laugh at yourself. It's okay to feel overwhelmed. It's okay to think that you can't do this. This business isn't for you. Or maybe you're a wholesale ambassador, you wanted to join this Zoom call just to kind of hear a different perspective. So that's what I'm here to do. I'm here to encourage you that if you joined for wholesale, if you joined thinking you can't do this thing, yes, you can. If my crazy butt can do it, anybody can do it. If my husband can do it and he's a full-time Marine, y'all can do it too. If Sarah's 21 in college, a sorority girl, if she can do it with that crazy schedule, y'all can do it. So my 3 top tips for building your business, for being successful, come down to this. And if you listen to a lot of my Zoom calls and my trainings, these things may sound very redundant, very familiar. I'm not here to reinvent the wheel. We have incredible jewel uplines ahead of me that have paved the way, and I just like to reiterate what they've taught me. So, number 1, be consistent in everything you do. Be consistent with taking your products. Don't miss a day. 1, you're going to feel cruddy. 2, you want to be a product of the product. That consistency is part of that. And 3, be consistent with your follow-ups. If you reach out to a friend and say, hey, have you ever heard of Plexus? Follow up with them if they say no. Don't leave them hanging. Give them a sample. Tell them about it. Be consistent with your social media posts. If you aren't sharing every single day, you never know who's on Facebook one day and not the next day. I've shared this before. Celeste did not know Jen was a Plexus ambassador because she just saw a baby post here and there. And then one day she saw a before and after picture that Jen shared and was like, whoa, what are you doing? I need that. And Jen was posting all the time. But Celeste just happened to see that one post. So be consistent in when you post. You may think they're not watching, they're not commenting, they don't like my stuff, I don't get any likes like you, I don't get comments like you do. That doesn't mean jack. And I'm going to tell you why. Because 2 or 3 of my biggest skeptics are now senior rubies on my team. And they told me I was annoying and crazy and Emily, what did you get sucked into? So I encourage you, just because you're not getting the likes and the comments doesn't mean that you stop posting. Be yourself and be genuine and be consistent with that. That's my number 1 tip, is consistency. Never miss a day to post about something I love on Facebook, whether it's what I like to eat, how cute my kids are, how terrible my day was, or how awesome Plexus is. I've never missed a day. I've always been consistent with that. So that's number 1. Write it down, all bold font on those notes. If you're writing notes, just write consistency really, really big. Number 2. This one is kind of different for me because, well, not for me. I know a lot of you, it's getting out of your comfort zone, and you're going to be like, it's going to make you physically ill thinking about this. But my second business tip is being vulnerable. So consistent is a great thing, but being vulnerable. If you are not a funny person, don't try to be funny. If you are not, in other words, be vulnerable, don't be fake. I want you to be genuine. This is relationship marketing. If you are just out there to sell and make money, that's all you're going to be doing. It's going to end up being like a 9-to-5 job, like a sales job. And that is boring. There's nothing passionate about that. If you are genuine and you're vulnerable with your audience, with your friends, with your family, and you're like, you know what? I got stretch marks in places where the sun don't shine. And you know what? Plexus can't fix that. But they're fixing my insides. It's healing my gut. If you're vulnerable and you keep it real with people, they're going to know. Your friends know if you are not some mad scientist guru that's talking about gut health and prebiotics and probiotics. They're going to see right through you and go, you've never read a gut health article a day in your life. Why are you sharing 50 of those a day? So be vulnerable. Talk about your likes, your dislikes. I'm not saying to be negative by any means. I want you to stay positive in your journey, but you have to be vulnerable with others. That is what has set the tone and what has created this brand that I have in my Plexus business. Sarah's the same way. She keeps it real. She doesn't hide anything. She shares those before and after pictures with no guilt, no shame. She's like, that's the old me. I ain't looking back. I'm a ruby in qualification for diamond. I have my blinders on and nothing's getting in my way. I love her sassiness. I love her attitude. And I love the positivity that she radiates because so many of us get so discouraged when we don't lose a pound in 1 week. Been there, still there, just had a baby. I know all about that life. Some of us get super discouraged and we get negative and we start posting these negative things on Facebook. And that vulnerability shows in a negative context. You don't want to reflect that. You're reflecting Plexus. You're reflecting your team. You're reflecting me, your upline. So choose joy, but be vulnerable. Be yourself, okay? This is relationship marketing. Excuse me. Okay, my third tip. My third tip, which is something that my team knows, Sarah, maybe you don't know this yet, but is to get your hands on a network marketing book. Learn about this business, not just Plexus, but network marketing, why it's better. It may not be the best decision for people, but man, is it better than working that 9-to-5 job for 40 years, clocking in and out for the man when you could be your own boss. Even if that means you're silver for 12 months working on gold, that's still better than sitting in a cubicle next to someone you barely know for 40 years, barely making it by, and paying someone else's bills. Pay your own bills. Take charge of your own life. And if by reading network marketing books, you're going to learn all about that, why it's the best decision ever, why it's different, why being your own boss should be something that's important to you. I have 2 books in front of me, actually 3, that I want to share with you. The best leadership book that I have ever found in my entire life is this. This is my Bible. A lot of you may not agree with that, and that's okay. You find what you believe in and let that pour into your leadership skills. Be all about that. I keep Christ first in my life, in my marriage, in my home, and I firmly believe in that. And so this is where I go for leadership. This is where I center myself when I am a hot mommy mess and I need to lead you guys. And I'm like, I have a Zoom call in 30 minutes. I need to get it together. I'm going to whip out my Bible. If you are struggling with not necessarily discouragement, but you're like, man, did I really make the right decision with choosing Plexus? Did I make the right decision by picking my why? Like your why maybe is staying home, getting out of college, being your own boss, paying off debt. Whatever your why is, I want you to dig a little deeper, and then I want you to read this, The 4-Year Career by Richard Bliss Brooke. He breaks it down with statistics and facts about why network marketing has been proven to not only enhance our economy, but to help with small businesses and to help families retire their spouses early, make 6 figures in less than 2 years. Y'all, that's huge. There are people that will work 40 years in the 9-to-5 job, and they'll never see a 6-figure income. They won't even see that in their 401k. That's what this book sheds some light on. So get your hands on The 4-Year Career. My personal favorite, I talk about it in probably just about every Zoom call. My team is probably like, oh my gosh, I already know. I can see some of you mouthing it at me now. GoPro by Eric Worre. I only obsess about this book because it took me 8 months to read it. And I'm like, shame on you, Emily. That's what you thinking. I did not read this until I went Emerald. And then it was like, Lightfall, ding, ding, ding. Oh my gosh, my team needs all this stuff. And there's so much. I mean, I wish y'all could see it. You probably can't because of the glare, but like every other page is dog-eared. Because I'm like, yep, I like that. Yep, rip that page out, stick it on my mirror. Oh my gosh, yes. He has a very sarcastic tone. He interviews many people in the network marketing industry and shows you that it's possible. People are doing it all the time. People are creating network marketing companies because they're better. It's a better opportunity. Why wouldn't you want to sit home, talking to the moms real quick, with your babies, watching their every move, watching that first spit up, watching that first rollover, changing all those diapers? Why would you want to miss that? Or for my dudes and my ladies in college, you're going to college. That's incredible. Did that. Took me 6 years to get my associates. It stinks. Total procrastinator. And I know sometimes you feel that way too, and you're like, why am I in college? I don't love this. I don't love this subject. He tells you, find something that you love. Pour yourself into it. Create that belief. But he also teaches you, don't play or don't beat around the bush with people. If you want them on your team, be bold. So if you need help with being bold in your network marketing business, especially Plexus, GoPro, Eric Worre. He teaches you 7 different steps to becoming a network marketing professional, because guess what? If you join my team, you are officially a network marketing professional. So let's improve those skills, and let's use these 3 tips that I've shared with you tonight to do that. So get your hands on these books. Apply them to your business. Use them with your team. Read them with your team. And then I want to hear all about it, because I love feedback and I love hearing from you guys. I love watching you learn and promote and get excited and understanding that Plexus is different. And if you still don't feel that way, if you're brand new and you're watching this and you're like, is it really different, Emily? Can I really do what you're doing? Yes, because I did it with 2 babies, little babies. And if I can grow a business and put myself out there when I look a hot mess, you can too. And a lot of you are like way more good looking than I am. So y'all got this. So allow me to introduce Miss Sarah Foreman. Like I said, she's 21 years old. She's a Ruby ambassador with Plexus. She's an incredible story that she's going to share with y'all. All right, Miss Sarah, let's hear it.
Hey y'all, so I'm so excited to be on tonight, and I wanted to say too, I'm actually reading the 4-Year Career right now, and I have GoPro right here. I actually just read this for the first time last month, and I was like, where has this been my whole life? Like, I should have read it a long time ago. So that's definitely a great read for you guys. Emily's not kidding about that. But I have some notes here, so if you guys see me looking down, that's what it is. But I'm going to share with you guys tonight my health and business testimony. They kind of intertwine. And then I have 3 tips that I'm going to share with you guys as well. And I do have to first off say I'm so honored to be on tonight. This is kind of a full circle moment for me because when I first started really working my business, I actually first found Emily's videos, and that's honestly kind of how I've completely built my business. I would watch all of those videos, and if I didn't know what to tell my team members, I would refer them to, the cost objection video or magic text. So I learned so much from watching those videos. So you guys have an incredible upline, and a lot of what I'm going to say tonight is going to kind of come from that, but I'm going to show you guys how I have applied it to my business. So to start off with my testimony, I actually joined Plexus as an ambassador in November of 2013. So I was a 19-year-old broke college student at the time, and I have always struggled with my health and with my weight going back to middle school. But because I cheered, I kind of kept my weight. It stayed fine, but I had health issues that I didn't realize were underlying gut health issues. So I struggled with, allergies and migraines and all these different things that I didn't realize all came down to my gut health. And so when I stopped cheering after my freshman year of high school, and to be honest, a Taco Bell was built right next to my high school, so after school every day, we would hit it up, and the pounds added up really fast, y'all. And so I finished out my senior year around 200 pounds, and that was incredibly uncomfortable for me. And so I started out my freshman year of college. I went to a local community college here, and I dealt with just anxiety, just from the added stress of, going to a new school and starting, a new stage of life and being uncomfortable with myself. It definitely added a lot of stress. And so I was introduced to Plexus at the end of I was about to start my second year of the community college. I was introduced to it that summer before. And the way that I was introduced to it was that it was my aunt, her friend had been taking the products, and they had helped her with her thyroid. They had helped to regulate her thyroid, which I'm not one to take a diet pill or shake or anything like that. I'm all about, going the natural route. And so I've known this woman, and I knew that she didn't have weight to lose, so it wasn't a weight loss thing. I knew that she was actually really trying to get healthy, and so that was what intrigued me. And so I tried the products. I loved them. I tried a 7-day trial at first, but being a broke college student and I was paying for the products myself, I couldn't afford them. And so I'd be on and off the products, and that was when in November of 2013, my aunt told me, she was like, hey, you can join as an ambassador, and all it takes is 3 customers to make enough money to cover the cost of your own product. And I had heard of Mary Kay and Scentsy and things like that, but I didn't know that people could actually make money in anything like that. And so when I heard that I could get my products cheaper and possibly get them for free, I was like, all right, ding, 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 like this is what I need to do. So I joined in November of 2013, and I know we say not to sign up people with welcome packs. It's definitely not what I recommend at all, but I was that broke that I joined for $34.95. That was what I had at the time. It was about all that I had, and I didn't take my health a priority still at that time. I didn't really know what I had gotten myself into, but when you join Plexus, you're added into all of those fun Facebook groups. So even though I wasn't taking my health even a priority at that point, and I had some, stages of life that happened that played out I did see on Facebook all of the training groups that I was added into, and the before and after groups and the testimonies, and that was starting to build my belief in the products and in this company. And so as my belief had grown, I had a rock solid belief in the products and in the company, but what I didn't have was belief in myself, and that these products could work for me and that this business could work for me. And so in August of 2014, after I joined Plexus, I actually reached my heaviest weight of 225 pounds. And so, like divine timing works itself out, September of that year, Plexus actually released the triplex combo. So they had always had all three of those products, but they had finally released them in a combo together in September of 2014. And I just got on them, and I just didn't really think about it. I just started taking the products. I wasn't weighing myself, every other day or anything like that. I just got on it and was trusting the process, because that was for the first time when I was really introduced to gut health, and I started doing my research and realizing all the different things that I was putting in my body, whether it was food or prescriptions or all these different things. I didn't realize what they had done to my health over time. And so I started taking the triplex, and it was not fast that I saw results at all, for sure. It wasn't until around Christmas and around New Year's, so it was about 3 to 4 months, when I was really starting to see a difference in my clothes and the way that I was looking and feeling, and I was really starting to actually see inches, and then the pounds slowly came after that. And so in January of 2015, excuse me, that was when I decided to draw my line in the sand. That was when I was like, okay, I've had the belief in these products and in this business, and I've seen that these products can work for me. I'm ready to go all in. And that was honestly when I really started getting into YouTube too. I would watch every Plexus YouTube video I could basically get my hands on, and I really just dug deep into learning all about this company and these products. And from there, I just started sharing. I'm going to, when I share my 3 tips with you guys, talk a little bit about that and how some of these things help to catapult my business. But I just started being really authentic and sharing around this time last year. And I had this really big dream to go to the One Plexus convention last year. And I live in Chesapeake, Virginia, so that was a huge trip for me to be able to go on. And I've only been on a plane once in 4th grade. So that was going to be a huge deal for me. And at this time last year, I was actually finishing up my associate's degree, and I was working as a waitress at a local restaurant. So I was super broke, and prior to Plexus, I've always lived really paycheck to paycheck, dollar to dollar, sometimes even, having to ask my parents for gas money. I've always been really, really tight with money. And so January of 2015, it was looking like this Plexus convention was not happening at all. But I just started sharing, and I just started sharing because I truly wanted to share what these products were doing for me. And as I started having these reconnections with people from high school and middle school and even elementary school, and seeing what the products were doing for them as well, that started to build my belief and just made me want to help even more people. And so I truly believe, honestly, by the grace of God and by our unique, generous compensation plan, I was actually able to go to the convention last year, and I paid for the whole trip on my April and May paychecks of last year. And they say that leaders are born at events, and that could not be more true. I went to Convention Silver, and it lit a fire in me. It completely, changed the course of, honestly, my life, because that was for the first time that I saw, people that were doing this with me and that had the same vision and the same outlook that I did. And so 2 weeks later, after I returned from convention, I actually went gold. And I actually quit that waitressing job as well. So ever since then, I've been doing Plexus full time. And I've been on the triplex combo. Like I said, I'm slow and steady with it, and I've been able to lose 70 pounds. But it has been slow and steady because it's been since September of 2014. But I've continued sharing my journey, and I was able to go senior gold in August, and then I went ruby on New Year's Eve. So for me, now being 21, and I do Plexus full time, and I live with my parents, I'm an only child, it has been a huge, huge, huge financial game changer for me as well as health-wise. It has been huge. And so I actually plan on, which is something that I never thought that Plexus could could do for me. I plan on at Emerald retiring my mom and at Sapphire retiring my dad, which is just crazy to think of, but that's what's so awesome about Plexus is that you can use this as your vehicle to make whatever your dreams are for you and your family to come true. And so that is where I'm at right now with my journey. And so I wanted to share with you guys 3 tips that I think help to catapult my business. And a lot of these I actually, Emily touched on, so I thought that was so cool. But the first one that I wanted to share with you guys is the one that I think really started to get my business going. And I think that amongst anyone that's successful in Plexus, you're going to see this, and that is being authentic and transparent. So I've had people tell me, and I've had people message me quite a few times and say, you're so brave for posting those before and after pictures. And while when I took those befores, I definitely thought that I was never going to have an after to put next to it. So that is one reason why I feel okay to be able to do that. But what the people who say that don't realize is I've built my business from putting myself out there and posting those pictures. That is what has ultimately, essentially made me money, was putting myself out there. And so you don't have to have these crazy before and after pictures to be able to be authentic and be transparent, because it's going to be different for everybody. For Rachel Rogers, she struggled with cystic acne. Actually, my aunt, she struggled for 20 years with a janky toenail. Everyone has different things, and so you just got to see how Plexus has helped you and how you can be transparent, because you never know what someone is praying about every night, and so you can be that person to relate to them and be able to share Plexus with them. But if you're not being authentic and transparent, they're never going to know what these products or what this opportunity could do for them. Because what I found from doing that is so many people that I went to high school with were struggling that I didn't know. It was people who looked seemingly healthy on the outside that I didn't realize had all these underlying issues that they were struggling with. So that is my first thing, is to really be transparent and authentic with your journey. Because like I said, you don't have to have the crazy before and after pictures. It can be the non-scale victory of, having enough energy to deal with your crazy kids or whatever it is, but just use it in whatever your way. And so that's going to be leading into my second tip, which is something that I think a lot of successful ambassadors, especially Emily, do, and that is working on your brand. So what I mean exactly by working on your brand is that I found most of the time people are going to join for the leader before they join for the vision. So when I think a lot of people do this when they first start is we all post, ads, watch, join my team, whatever it is. I'm looking for 3 people. We all do that when we first start, but most of us realize that doesn't get very much interaction and that doesn't work. And so what I found is that's because people are going to join for who you are before they join for Plexus, because they're seeing you. You are the representation of Plexus to them. And so you don't want to lead with just how awesome Plexus is. You want to embody what Plexus is. So you want to embody the lifestyle and these products and be that living, product of the product, essentially, but not just lead with how awesome Plexus is, because we know that the perks and the products and this opportunity is amazing, but people are going to join for the leader that you are, and the way that you're going to do that is by working on your brand. And so of course, you want to make sure that your Facebook is professional and appropriate and that you're consistent in your postings. But let's take it a step further than that. I want you to really start to think of your hobbies and your passions and your talents and start to incorporate that into your Facebook. I've heard people say to use your Facebook like your own personal blog. And I found I started doing this a year ago, because I don't know about anybody, but before I started Plexus, I actually didn't use my Facebook. I was just, on Twitter, Instagram, and whatnot. So when I posted Plexus at first, it kind of went out to nowhere land because I hadn't been posting on Facebook. So around this time last year was when I started sharing not only about Plexus, but I started sharing more about myself. So I started sharing more articles of different, whether it was, natural medicine or whatever it is that you're passionate about. I started sharing different articles and things like that, because what you'll find is people buy from who they like and who they trust. So when people relate to you about whatever your talents or your hobbies or whatever it may be is, when they relate to you on that and then they see you posting about Plexus, they're going to trust you about that as well. And so that's when you're going to be able to open up the relationship and be able to share Plexus with them. And I really found that really took place for me is when I started posting more and then finding creative ways that I could fit Plexus into the nooks and crannies of my day-to-day life and posting about it, rather than just posting, join my team, I'm looking for, however many new customers or ambassadors. But when I found that I was really using my Facebook to brand myself and what I'm about, and, I didn't think that my niche was going to be before and after pictures in front of my bathroom mirror, but you got to find what works for you. And I really think that being consistent on building your personal brand and finding what your niche is with Plexus is going to be key to your success and people joining you and your team. Because like I said, people join for the leader before they join for the vision. And so the last tip that I wanted to share with you guys tonight is something that I know Emily talks a lot about with choosing joy, and it kind of goes along with that, and it is to have a diamond mindset. And so what I mean by having a diamond mindset from day one is, so if you guys seen anybody, I'm sure you have, we all have, and we've all probably been in this position where you feel like you're working your business consistently and diligently, and you feel like maybe you're doing all of the right things, all the right postings, you don't feel like there's anything else you could possibly doing right. You feel like you've got it all right, but maybe somehow you're still coming up short for silver or gold or whatever your goal is. I think we've all seen someone or we've been in that position, and if you haven't, you will be at one point in your journey because there's stages in this journey. But what I think the reason for that is because I think there's two huge aspects to your business. And the first is going to be the knowledge, that you have the knowledge of these products and these ingredients and the compensation plan, and that you can respond in confidence. But I think the second aspect, and if you don't have that, I think it's going to kind of halt you in your tracks to where you're trying to go, and that is your mindset. And so I'm going to give you guys a couple different ways that you can work on your mindset that I've seen play out in my business and how I've kind of worked through it. And so the first thing is I was kind of feeding myself these doubts and these fears that I had. And so that is what was playing itself out in my business. I told myself, I'm 20 years old and a college student. No one my age is going to have the money to join and be a part of this with me. And so I attracted a lot of people who were interested in the products, but thought it was too expensive and weren't going to join for that reason. But now I don't have a lot of cost objections at all. And the way that I want you guys to work through this is I want you to turn your fears and your doubts about your business into positive affirmations that you tell yourself day in and day out. So if you think to yourself that no one's going to join your team because they think the products are too expensive, or my team isn't motivated and no one's working their business, or I've talked to everyone I know and no one's interested, I want you guys to turn them into positive affirmations. So you could say that I'm so thankful that so many of my friends and family see the value in these products and are ready to hop on board with me. Whatever it may be, find what your fears are, and it can even be personal as well. It doesn't just have to be Plexus related, because for me, I don't know if there's any introverts on here. I'm super introverted and shy and quiet, which a lot of people say they wouldn't expect. So this has gotten me out of my comfort zone so much. So if that's you and you think that only outgoing extroverts can make it in this business, it's definitely not true. And so I've always struggled with being a leader. I've never been in a leadership role. So I tell myself every day now, I'm a responsible and a reliable leader that my team needs. So whatever it is that your fears are, turn them into positive affirmations that you tell yourself. And I promise you, you will see a difference, because I really don't attract people that have the cost objection anymore. And if they do, I tell them I'm here whenever they're ready, and 9 times out of 10, they'll be back in your inbox. Give it a couple weeks, I promise. And another way that you can program your mind for success is if you are reaching for a rank, I've seen a lot of the times people get stuck in the hope stage, where they're, I hope I'm going to go silver this month, or I hope this is my month to go gold. I want you to make it a goal with a deadline. So I want you to tell yourself, I am a silver ambassador by May 30th, 2016, or I am a gold ambassador by whatever the date is. And tell yourself that day in and day out, because when you tell yourself, I am, that is an extremely powerful statement, because when you're saying, I hope, you're putting that out into the universe. If you're familiar with the law of attraction, definitely watch The Secret or read the documentary. But thoughts become things. So if you're saying, I hope, you're going to continue to be in a place of hope. That's what the universe is going to keep bringing you. But if you say, I am, the universe doesn't know the difference between what you're thinking and what's actually happening. So it's going to bring you the situations and the circumstances and the people into your path to make what you're speaking into existence take place. So tell yourself, I am a silver ambassador. I am a gold ambassador. I am a senior ruby ambassador. Whatever it is, tell yourself that day in and day out, and you will start to see that come into fruition through the scenarios and situations that are going to be put into your path. So I promise you guys, if you start to, like Emily talks about, choose joy and change your mindset to not thinking of the doubts and the fears or what could go wrong, and only think of what could go right, the good that is coming, and where you know that you and your team and your business is going, you're going to see that take place. That is going to be the place that your business and your journey goes. So that is what I wanted to leave you guys with. I promise if you stick to this for a month, you will see a dramatic difference in your team and in yourself. So that is all that I have for you guys tonight. I hope that I was able to relate to at least one of you guys. That is what my wish is. And I also wanted to say that if I truly believe that if I, as unhealthy and as broke and as lazy as I was when I started my Plexus journey, if I could make this business and this health journey happen, I truly believe that anybody can make it happen. So I just wanted to be able to breathe belief into you guys tonight that you can make this happen. And I want you to really dig into yourself, dig into personal growth, and see how you can make this journey and this business uniquely yours. Find your niche and run with it, because you can totally make this happen. So this was truly an honor for you to have me on tonight. I'm so, so, so blessed to be on. And I look forward to seeing all of you guys in Vegas next month. That's crazy.
Girlfriend, you are precious, and I'm very, very thankful that you jumped on this. You're just awesome. The tips, I'm seeing all these head shaking and notes are being written down, and you were hitting the nail on the head. I think a lot of my team is just going to absorb this and just run with it. So thank you for, blowing some belief their way. I want to real quick just kind of extend on where she was going with her last thought about your mindset. I was watching a training call by Celeste Gwynn today and Suzanne Clinton. They're both Diamond Ambassadors. And Celeste said something about finding the joy in your journey. And that's very similar to choosing joy. But she also said, stop telling yourself that you are stuck at silver. You're stuck at being just an ambassador. You're stuck at gold. You are not stuck at anything. That is an incredible blessing to bring in $50 to $5,000 a month into your home by being whatever rank you are from before you're a jewel, whatever that mindset you have. So stop telling yourself that you're stuck. Start saying instead, I'm a silver ambassador for the last 7 months and I'm working on going gold. I'm working my way towards gold. I'm working my way towards ruby. Whatever rank that you're at, you are not stuck. You are a blessing to others. You are a blessing to your family. You are bringing in residual income that is helping you with what? Putting gas in your car, diapers on your babies. So instead of that negative mindset of being and feeling stuck in this business, remind yourself and choose joy that I'm not stuck. I'm working for it. I am showing people that you can do this. You can live a life, be a mom, be a dad, be a coach, be a college student, be a pastor, be a mailman, waitress, whatever, and you can still bring in residual income on the side. Y'all are going to work those jobs, right? You got to pay the bills. You got to support your family. But if you're doing this Plexus thing now on the side, that's a blessing. It's an addition to what you're already so amazing at. So I want you to start saying that. I'm not stuck. I'm working towards blank. I love that. I love the positive mindset. Thank you so much, Sarah, for being on this awesome, awesome Zoom call. I feel like I took away stuff. I'm like, I need a pen, but my husband stole it. You were saying some really awesome things. I can't wait to put this on YouTube and get more feedback. So thank you, everybody, for joining us on this call. I really, really appreciate it. Like Sarah said, if you're going to Vegas, we'll see you there. If not, get your booties there next year. Oh my gosh, it's going to be so much fun. And obviously it builds so much belief because leaders are definitely born at events. So thank you, everyone. Thanks, Sarah.